Most people, to the untrained eye, are going to sit here and say that this owner starved her dogs.
We're going to head up to that dog call right now. So we'll go out, we'll assess the situation.
I mean, look at that. These dogs look like garbage. I mean, that's just not. Did you see there's bags of food there?
She was very upset about losing all of her cats. She called me up a few times in tears.
I need my photos. I need to be able to paint this picture for the judge so that he sees what I see.
Good morning and welcome to the Circuit 13 Advisory Board. This is with, sponsored by, I'm going to go ahead and continue. Got a little bit confused here with the microphone. Please forgive me. Let's go ahead and start, Madam Secretary, with roll call today.
Yes, ma'am. Assistant State Attorney Irene Maslanik. Public Defender Anita Mobley. Judge Brennan. Here. Thank you. Beth Pasek. Here. Major Roberts.
Present.
Captain Polk.
Present.
Commissioner Cameron Cepeda.
Present.
Chrissy Dorian has an excused absence. Conchita Canty-Jones.
Now, we can consider her excused.
Excused absence. Ms. Quinn Rainbow. Pastor Alfred Johnson. Reverend Dr. Glenn Dames. Claire Reynolds, present. Marquise Thomas. Sarah Grimmig is excused. Rob Parkinson.
Here.
Thank you. And Kimberly Williams.
Here.
Wonderful. We have quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. If you all would join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Next, we will go ahead with adoption of the agenda. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda? Motion to adopt the agenda. Do we have a second?
Second.
The agenda is adopted. Next item of business is the review and approval of minutes. They were previously provided through the team's invite for today, but likewise, they are also provided here right now for all the members. Have you all had a chance to review the minutes of the meeting?
I have, and I move to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
The minutes are approved. Thank you. Now moving forward to our standing business, we have unfinished business to discuss today. And as you'll see, item number 1 is nominations for replacement of our subcommittee chairs for the Student Achievement and the Data-Driven Decision-Making subcommittees. The reason why we are seeking replacement chairs is that, fortunately for us, both of our subcommittee chairs, Chrissy Dorian and Judy Royston, have been doing this for a wealth of time, a long period of time. Chrissy Dorian has been the subcommittee chair since it was created with the new CAB. Likewise, Judy Royston has been the subcommittee chair for the new CAB and the prior CAB. So both of them have a wealth of experience and knowledge. They serve as subject matter experts for both of those subcommittees. But their work obligations and responsibilities take a priority for both of them. So at this point, we would like to select or at least have nominations for subcommittee chairs to replace both the Data-Driven Decision-Making Committee and the Student Achievement Committee. From what I understand, both of the current chairs could be available to participate on the subcommittee as subject matter experts, just not in the role as the chair of the subcommittee. So, and as a reminder, the chair traditionally sets the agenda, working in conjunction with the chair, which is myself, of the CAB, and our vice chair as well, setting the agenda, creating the date, time for the meeting, creating and supplying the minutes, and all that good stuff through the chair. And we work that out and we navigate that to where we can have the committee be held and gather all information, feedback, and suggestions and solutions for those committees. So at this point, I know that we do have quorum, but I would like to put it out there if anyone is interested or if anyone would like to make any nominations for the subcommittee chair for the Student Achievement. Okay, and with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Would anybody like to submit a nomination or make a recommendation for the subcommittee chair for the Data-Driven Decision-Making Subcommittee? Okay, so with that being said, before I move forward, I did want to share, and I would be remiss not sharing, all the wonderful work that both Judy Royston and Chrissy Dorian have done on their subcommittees. Without their passion, commitment, and dedication to problem solve, to come up with great solutions, which we know that they have, we would be doing a disservice to our youth and families in the community. So it's their expertise and commitment that really have captured some of the things that we could do as a community and agency and departments, respectively, to enhance the lives of the youth and families that we served. So absolutely, I did want to thank both of you on behalf of the board. I know Chrissy's not here, but I have already thanked her, but I'll continue to thank her naturally, as I usually communicate with her on a weekly, if not daily basis as needed. So with that being said, as ex facto, I would be the person to serve as the subcommittee chairs until we have an actual nomination and voting on anybody that would like to replace or take on that role, that capacity. Vice Chair Parkinson, did you have anything that you'd like to interject?
No, I just want to concur with what you've said. Director Royston has done an incredible job working the problem of civil citation and really has implemented several efforts to really create efficiencies for our civil citation program. And we're in a really good place right now because of her. So thank you for that. And then also with Ms. Dorian, just her passion and commitment to our kids in the school district. She has also helped really create some streamlined efforts for our kids that are especially dual system kids in the last few years to make sure that they got the educational opportunities that they deserve. So.
Thank you, Mr. Parkinson. And now we move forward with the member updates. Oh, I guess I'm going to go ahead and start that out myself. All righty. Well, what I did want to share with our board and our community is that currently in Circuit 13, Hillsborough County, I'm going to give you some data, some statistics. We have 139 youth that are currently on probation type supervision. This includes probation, conditional release, and post-commitment probation. Currently in our secure detention, we have approximately 52 youth. And out in the community, whether it be on supervised release or condition of their probation, we have 29 youth that are on electronic monitoring. I want to make sure I go through all my good stuff here. And at this point, I do not have any other updates as regarding from the Department of Juvenile Justice, but we have other branches here today. I do not see that we have our detention services present today. So we will move on to our prevention services. Ms. Brianne Savillon.
Good morning. Prevention services, we're currently getting ready for our Fathers in Faith Symposium on June 2nd and 3rd. The One Mentor, One Child Summit has been moved to September. Future date will come out. And then we are also preparing for the Youth Summit in July, and we're actively working on integrating our initiatives into schools and community providers.
Madam Secretary, did you get those dates from the minutes?
I got Fathers in Faith Symposium in June and Youth Summit in July.
And the One Mentor, One Child Summit will be moved to September.
Thank you for your update. At this point, we're going to go to delinquency citation. Judy Royston.
Good morning, Judy Royston for Juvenile Diversion Court Administration. During March of 2026, we had a total of 39 pre-arrest delinquency citations referrals. 23 were community-based and 16 were school-based. The most common charges during that period were affray and disruption of school function, with 11 referrals each. In comparison, we had 57 referrals in March of 2025, and female-to-male ratio, we had 17 females and 22 males. And then in April of 2026, we processed 57 referrals, 39 community-based referrals, and 18 school-based referrals. Battery, domestic violence was the leading charge, accounting for 17 referrals. By comparison, in April of 2025, we had 63 referrals. And that is all I have to report, unless there's any questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And our next item on the agenda, Hillsborough County Children's Services. Heather Cazzola.
Good morning, everyone. Heather Cazzola with Hillsborough County Children's Services. So our update for our current census is we have 4 youth for SINs, we have 1 for DV, and we have 3 youth currently for DVCC. Very exciting news, we will begin to provide community counseling at our feeding Tampa Bay Causeway location in June. So we're entering into that realm. We'll be able to provide our community counseling to those families in that area. So we're excited. We've worked very closely with them to get that set up. So that will start in June. And that is all I have.
Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Chief. I'm so sorry,
Yeah.
Heather. What is DVCC?
Oh, I apologize. So that's the domestic violence civil citation.
And so what was the one youth for DV?
So that would be if they actually had an arrest for domestic violence and they were optioned into respite.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I do have a question regarding the DV beds, the respite itself, the beds. Currently, you share, I believe on a daily basis, the beds availability with our detention center. Is that also shared with our juvenile assessment center?
Yes, I believe so. And they have an agreement worked out with making phone calls and being part of that conversation whenever the youth come into the juvenile assessment center.
Okay, great, I appreciate that.
One more question, if you don't mind. Yeah, Heather, so if I'm hearing correctly, we have 6 kids on campus.
Yes, as of right now.
And how many beds do we have available?
So bed availability depends on if it's single room, double room, based on the needs of the youth.
Sure.
So we do have 2 separate cottages, one for girls, one for boys. So if they don't need single rooms, typically it's 12 each.
Okay.
So depending on the situation.
So 24 is your max?
Yes.
That you could have on campus, and you have 6 right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for that update. And the last item on member updates is general member updates. I'm not sure who we have here. Okay. So I'm going to put that out there. Do we have any general updates from any of our members at this particular point in time? Okay, thank you. Our next item up for conversation is the updates on the data-driven decision-making pre-arrest delinquency citation issuances. Thank you, Judy.
So the data-driven subcommittee met on May 15th, and we reviewed the missed opportunity reports, the Polk County Circuit 10 MOU for processing civil citations / teen court referrals. We also looked at the Pinellas County Standard Operating Procedure, how they process, and can I say citations instead of going through the whole thing, pre-arrest
Sure.
delinquency referrals? Okay. So primary topic of discussion involved whether we could process the kids through the Hillsborough Jack. That's what we've been looking at. We've gone through all our recommendations. We've really, I think, made substantial progress on everything. This is our last hurdle. The committee recommended that at our meeting the other day that DJJ Chief Hammersley collaborate with Director Bitrich and the ACT's leadership, Chris Rivera and Asha Terminillo, to develop a preliminary framework outlining how citation youth would be processed if they went through the JAC. They're going to do bullet points, look at key operational issues, and we identified some of them. First, case processing procedures, how would that look? Fingerprinting, right now we use the HCSO electronic system, so that would have to be looked at. Management of youth on the secure floor, because these youth are technically non-arrest youth. Mass screening procedures. The group anticipated meeting in June if scheduling permits, and then developing a proposed process. And then once that procedure is completed, we could present it and look for further review and discussion, any barriers, any hurdles that we have to look at. I thank everybody for going through this process with me. If anybody does step up to be chair of the committee, I would be more than happy to assist. And like I said, I think we've done a lot. We just have this one last hurdle to get through. But thank you. Any questions?
And I will say that this last hurdle that we're going through, I have a meeting set up with ACT's JAC leadership for June. I don't remember the exact date, but it's been set up. So we'll navigate our barriers and have that discussion. So we're going to keep on with the momentum.
Yeah. And I have to say, we looked at the missed opportunity reports, and I think February, there were like 21 kids. March was 39, but that was the teen takeover kids. And then April was only 4 youth that got arrested instead of a civil citation. So I think without these teen takeovers, we might have, our numbers might look better, but now we have a whole nother issue. So,
And I can share, and I will share, I just looked yesterday at the pre-arrest delinquency citation issuance from May 1st to May 20th, and the number has increased. It's like, I think it was like 19 to 24 so far, many of them disorderly conduct. So I think that is in tandem with what has recently been happening within our community, our county, regarding teen takeovers.
I think we had 22 that came in May.
Yes.
For that.
Yes.
So obviously that's skewing the data, the teen takeover scenario. And I know there's discussions about implementing another process for those youth because law enforcement patrol needs to respond to those issues and get those kids out of that situation immediately. And unfortunately, a lot of them would be eligible for civil citation. So, hopefully this discussion will bear fruit in terms of these alternate sanctions, or if the decision is eventually made to rely on the process that we're developing for missed opportunity, either way, it should be an appropriate response for this new emerging issue. I wanted to, again, just highlight the work that Director Royston has done to compare and contrast our civil citation program with others in the state. Obviously, we've been comparing Pinellas and Polk quite a bit just because they're our neighbors and they have relatively high utilization numbers. Director Royston's been able to get the SOPs from both of those organizations, and I just want to let the group know I was kind of really surprised when they passed the legislation for civil citation. They gave communities a great discretion in how they implemented it, and the program in Pinellas is congruent with what we're thinking. The one in Polk was actually developed from their teen court model. And it's like they took teen court and injected it with steroids. So all those processes that, even that we developed for our teen court, they are using those consistently for all of their civil citation kids. So that was a big takeaway for me, something I didn't know. And I would also have to say in my early comparisons, my assumptions were wrong based on, thinking they were doing it like Pinellas was doing it or like we wanted to do it. So I just want folks to keep that in mind. Every community has done it differently, and it also means we have some discretion in how we end up eventually implementing our program to adjust for those missed opportunities.
Mr. Parkinson, did you say that the teen takeover, majority of those would qualify for the?
The data that I've seen thus far, a significant portion of the teen takeover kids would be statutorily eligible for a civil citation. Not all, but a significant portion. The other thing that we need to remember is on these teen takeovers, very often there are adult bad actors mixed in, and we have a different system for them. But yes, a significant portion of those teen takeover youth would be eligible for civil citation. And one of the challenges is law enforcement gets there and they need to resolve that situation very, very quickly. And sometimes the civil citation process is not a rapid process. They need resolution. So that's why a lot of those kids that would be eligible for civil citation are being brought to the JAC.
Okay. Yeah, I'm very concerned with the teen takeover right now. It's not good for sure.
Absolutely. And, we talk about technology and using it to improve the juvenile justice system all the time here, but technology has also hindered the juvenile justice system, and it's a main actor in these teen takeovers. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, a youth might put a flyer on a telephone pole and say, I'm having a gathering here, and it's just that little community. Now, anyone with a smartphone can blast it all over the nethersphere and get people from, like that one issue we had a couple of years ago. We had people coming from other counties here and creating issues in Brandon. So technology could help, but it also has been quite the hindrance for us.
Yes. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Parkinson. I'll go ahead and report on the student achievement on behalf of Chrissy Dorian. So our meeting was held, our last subcommittee meeting was held May 8th. And at that time, we found that we've made a lot of progress as far as faster enrollment of our duly served youth. That was one of our focuses. Ms. Dorian and her education team came up with a site. It's a school portal site that they can electronically submit records from other counties for youth coming into school. This expedites the process to where these kids are getting placed into schools faster. Faster IEP meetings are being conducted, and that helps with their expedited school placement. This process has been in place since January of 2026 and started during semester 2, but that has increased school enrollment for all kids and particularly our duly served youth. Some of the issues that we're currently addressing on the subcommittee is detained DV youth, the school withdrawals and juvenile justice information system database. And basically what that means is that when youth are arrested for a DV and respite is not an option or the family refuses to allow the child to go to DV respite, then the child will be held in secure detention for that DV charge. And naturally, if they continue their stay in secure detention, there's a process in place where they're removed from that school, for example, late to high school. And it'll show that they're now in detention as far as education. So when that child is released, perhaps 2 or 3 days later, the option is given at court for Lake Magdalene, and the family agrees, and they're going to go ahead and be collected and picked up by Lake Magdalene. Then there's a bit of a transition phase, and that adversely impacts the child going to the correct school within their zone. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Cazzola, Lake Magdalene Children's Shelter over in North Tampa area is not transporting kiddos to school on East County side. Is that correct?
So not all the youth, if they are truancy youth, we transport whatever home school their school is.
Okay.
So that's a different scenario.
Clarification.
But for the other youth, a lot of it depends on where we are transporting the truancy kids.
Okay. So we're navigating this system within the agency as far as working with our detention folks as quickly as possible. I have a senior probation officer, detention coordinator, that is working and communicating with the youth and the family and everybody else, like, okay, where's Chrissy Dorian too? Where's this child going to go immediately as soon as they're going to Lake Magdalene? Are they going back to their school placement and just getting the cycle returned to normalcy naturally? So that's something that we're addressing on our subcommittee. Another item that we are addressing on the subcommittee is the graduation rates of youth. We've seen an overall improvement, but we're still working, again, with our detention center as far as entering the correct codes for when the children are transferred out of county jail. That makes a bit of a difference as far as when they're in the county jail, they'll still receive their educational opportunities. But it's just, again, a matter of electronic communication and getting those systems all in line to where they're communicating. Ultimately, it takes a person to enter that information in. So there's multiple parties that are part of this, but we continue to work on that. One process that Chair Dorian had discussed with the subcommittee is the Evening Reporting Center Youth Gun Offender Program. So youth that are attending that program, whether it be through the court administration, court orders, the Juvenile Holistic Advocacy Program, but some of these youth, because of their charges, particularly if they're firearm offenses, may not be able to return to their regular school campus, or if they're the serious violent offenses. They can work with the Chamberlain Encore, which is an online adult education program. So far, there has been about 40 to 50 students that have attended the Encore online program. So these students are provided with laptops, and Coach Bryant provides encouragement and motivation to the students to stay on target to pass their exams. The Evening Reporting Center has also added computers at their site for students to have the opportunity to access their online education. Currently, this has been very successful for our kiddos that are participating, so it's a welcome opportunity for those youth to continue with their education, even though they're not able to go at that particular time back to their traditional school setting. One of the other items that we do want to address as far as moving forward with the subcommittee is addressing home education. Some youth may enroll in a home education platform, and these can be virtual platforms, portfolio-based, and with the portfolios, what the student creates, basically their homework, their assignments, due to the home education office on an annual basis. There's some things on that that need to be addressed and tweaked and looked into a little bit further, because home education is not a one-size-fits-all situation. It requires a lot of dedication and diligence on the parents to have the knowledge, the aptitude, the willingness, the electronic availability to support their child and ensure that the child is completing those tasks, those assignments, and staying on target. So that's one of the items that we're going to be focusing as we move forward with our subcommittee. So at this point, does anybody have any questions? Heather?
Chief, I just want to say thank you for all the work on the subcommittee. This has been, it's been challenging with some of the process that goes through when a youth does enter detention and then leaves detention, and the communication with the parents. And with Chrissy's guidance, I think we've made great strides, and we're getting even closer to make sure that that gap in education is taken care of and continues to move forward for the youth. So thank you guys very much for the subcommittee work.
You're very welcome. And again, Chrissy Dorian has, subject matter expert in everything education. I truly believe that. Likewise, and some of our community may not know, but each school district is required by statute to have a district threat management team that they sit down and they review all children that may pose a potential threat based upon either charges, offenses, or actions or in-school issues. So that team meets consistently. I have an opportunity to participate on that team too, to where we have an understanding of, some children may not be able to return to their traditional school setting, but the school system works diligently to find other alternatives to have them continue with their education to the best of the ability until it is substantiated that they're ready to go back to their normal school setting. So thank you, and I'll share that with Chrissy Dorian as well.
Just have a couple comments. Again, Chrissy has done a really great job at addressing this issue. When last we talked, I think we were looking at like a 5-day gap in getting kids assigned to a school. I think we're down to close to 1 day now. Chrissy's just done an incredible job. But I also have to highlight, the work that Chamberlain Encore has done. It's not just a virtual option. There's wraparound services, specifically in the partnership with Safe and Sound Hillsborough. Ms. Geraldine and I were over there, was it last month, Geraldine? And toured. They actually set up one of the rooms as a classroom with desks and cubicles and high-end computers. And the individual that they have supervising that room is actually a certified teacher. So it's not just the virtual option. They're getting those wraparound services, so when a kid needs help, there's someone there to help them. When we were there, we were watching a youth work through his modules, and definitely, much more interaction with people than a virtual option alone. But I think the model certainly has efficacy for expansion of other delinquency populations. I think one of the major outstanding challenges is transportation, because I think I've heard folks wanting to refer folks to Safe and Sound that aren't involved in Safe and Sound and might live in another area or don't have a pending issue with Safe and Sound. But it's certainly something that we can look for. Virtual options give us opportunities, but again, some of these youth do better with human interaction, and this model is really working well in that environment.
Thank you, Mr. Parkinson. And our last subcommittee report Mr. Parkinson's going to provide an update on behalf of our subcommittee chair, Conchita Canty-Jones, who's not available today.
Thank you. As everyone, or most of us know, last year some legislation was passed that required or really supported DJJ in developing what were termed innovation zones for each circuit. The operational definition of an innovation zone is not really clear and concise in the statute, but basically the gist is that a community, a circuit, will focus on an issue of concern or problem for the juvenile justice system and collaborate to address it. So this group has talked about potential innovation zones for about a year and a half now, and really haven't been able to settle on anything. And Ms. Canty-Jones thought it would be important to highlight vocational opportunities for juvenile justice involved youth. So that's where a lot of her work has focused. And she has actually put together an executive summary. I think everyone got that in their emails, or?
I don't believe so.
Well, it will be coming to
It
you.
was finalized, I believe, on Monday.
Okay.
5/18. I can forward it out post.
So she proposes, and her subcommittee likes the idea, a Circuit 13 DJJ Workforce Development Pilot Initiative. And the purpose is to develop workforce-centered models that address employment barriers commonly experienced by DJJ-connected youth and young adults, with creating direct connections to career opportunities and earning potential. She wants to increase workforce participation. She wants to build career readiness and employability skills. She wants to actually provide industry-recognized workforce credentials so youth can get a certificate and go get a job and something that's recognized by employers. She wants to expand access to paid work experience and employment opportunities. She wants to strengthen employer engagement and second chance hiring opportunities. And of course, she wants to support economic self-sufficiency and better decision-making over the long haul. She, again, put together an executive summary. It's fairly robust, and I think it has a lot of merit. There are similar programs elsewhere in the country, and she is trying to sell this project with CareerSource, with her bosses, and see if they'll bite on it. They actually get some funding from the feds and the state and the county to deliver similar services to adult populations, and she thinks she can convince them to shift it down to our target population. So it's a great idea, and if she's able to get that, she'll report back, and then we'll decide whether or not we want to make this our innovation zone. And we recognize that the resources aren't there to serve everyone we would like to serve. You know, we would like all of our youth to go to college or get a job when they exit the system, but we realize the resources right now for this concept are not expansive. So the thought is that we would shift and focus on high-need youth first. So kids that are on probation, kids that are getting ready to age out. So those are the discussions we're having right now.
That is great news. That's very exciting. The Workforce Pilot Program, I really believe that's going to be very successful. Very exciting. Thank you.
You're welcome. And again, Conchita's done a wonderful job just digging to the details and putting together this executive summary, getting feedback from her committee, revising the executive summary. And I think it certainly has a lot of potential to offer new opportunities for our youth.
It does. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Parkinson. And I will forward that out to where our board members and our public has an opportunity to see what's being presented at our next board meeting. That's where we would go a deeper dive into discussion if that's going to be adopted by our board.
Absolutely, and I think that would give her the fodder for the cannons to address the issue again with her bosses if she has any challenges.
Yes.
So that we fully support it.
Is there any questions regarding the innovation zone at this particular time? Let's see. I'm missing something. New business, discussion of data and related questions. Does anybody have any new business that they would like to propose at this particular time? Then we're going to move forward to public comments. Madam Secretary. That's okay. You just take your time. We're not in a rush. We're good. It's Friday.
Did anybody submit public comment?
Anything, any public comments there?
No, ma'am.
And we don't have anyone virtual that has their hand up.
Let the record reflect there is no public comment today. The last item on our agenda is our next meeting location, date, and time, which will be currently where we are at today, the County Center, 601 East Kennedy Boulevard, the 26th floor conference room A and B, Tampa, Florida, 33602, at 10 a.m. on Friday, August 21st, 2026. Public notice of this meeting will include the virtual option to attend.
Madam Chair, I also want to remind folks that it's that time of year where we will start to convene the annual Julianne Holt Service Excellence Award Committee to decide for a worthy candidate at the end of the year. So I know Ms. Canty Jones has chaired that in the past, but now she's moved on to a different committee. So do we need to, again, ask someone to step up to serve as chair of that committee?
Yes, we will need to do that. My intent was to place that on our new business for our August 21st meeting.
Sounds good. And we have all those materials all ready to go. We just need to change the dates and then submit them to our stakeholders, or get it out in the community to our stakeholders. So it's not a lot of hard work. It's an ad hoc committee. If you're thinking about serving a committee but don't want a long-term heavy lift, this is a good one to kind of get your feet wet. And it's also a wonderful opportunity to get those applications, review them. There's so much good work being done out there in the juvenile justice system that we aren't aware of because people in the trenches or sometimes our nonprofit partners don't always convey back everything that's going on in their organization. So it's a wonderful opportunity to, one, find out what's going on, but also recognize folks for all of their hard work. Please think about volunteering for that committee.
Can I say something really quick?
Yes, Major.
I do not mind volunteering to head that committee, if it's available.
I'm going to make a motion. I move that Major Roberts chair that committee.
I love this enthusiasm.
We have a
Oh, my
second
gosh.
from Claire Reynolds. All in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? Yes.
Let me write that down.
I love a volunteer versus a conscript.
I got it, Chief. No worries. It's in the official minutes.
And I volunteer to serve on that committee with you.
Thank you. I might need some help, so some guidance. I'll take it.
We'll get more members at the August 21st meeting. It'll probably be me too. So there we go. Any further items for discussion before we conclude today's meeting? Well, I thank you all for your attention and your involvement and your participation, and have a safe, happy, and healthy Memorial Day weekend. The meeting is adjourned.